On the table, I have the pieces that will form the sides of the closet and the top of the closet. I don't know if you can see it, but these are the shelf pinholes that I drilled. They're on either side. To get an idea of how this comes together, I will use this piece here to form one side. You see the bracket for the closet rod. Remember, you can get this at almost any hardware. It costs about $30, $5.25. $80 you could get the corresponding rod that goes with it. This will be the top here. And here is the next side. My least favorite part is really the assembly, because I struggle with holding it together once I've applied the glue and clamping it. So that's my least favorite. Usually when I have assembled something, it will have a little lip because the glue has probably slipped and I wasn't careful as I should have been when screwing. What I've done here is dry fitted everything. I have some corner clamps that's just holding the project in place. And no glue has been applied, no screws. I'm really glad I've done this because I realized that the surface of this table is uneven, so it was causing some problems. That's why I have this piece of ply resting underneath the project. What I'll do is I'll remove this clamp here, this corner of the clamp at least. So I'll now be able to apply glue. I want to tell you a story about this clamp, but I'll do it while I work. Recently I went to a hardware to purchase a clamp, the clamp that I just showed you. When I was there inquiring about the clamp, a guy who looked very familiar said to me, he said, "Hey, I have clamps at home, so you could come and borrow them for me." So I was pleasantly surprised at his offer and we got around to talking. It turns out that, well, he really is familiar, although we haven't never spoken. I've seen him around and our children go to the same school. He would say to me that, yes, I have clamps at home and you can come borrow them if you like. Because I have a woodwork shop, I have a machine shop, and rather than you spend the money, you can just use it as you see fit. So while I appreciated the offer, I declined and purchased the clamps for myself. But he did say something that caught my attention. He said, "I am currently working on a project for the school where I am building school desks." And I asked him if I could come along. The same day I visited his workshop and I got to see what he was about, and very pleased to see the work that he is doing. I asked him if I could come back while he was painting the projects, and he said, "Yeah man, that sounds fine." And I asked him also if he is open to me recording and me joining him as an apprentice on different projects that he might be working on, so that I could learn a thing or two about woodworking. And he willingly and happily agreed. So you could stay tuned. I am supposed to visit him tomorrow, God willing, so as he continues working on the school desk. It's very far along, so you won't get to see the construction of it, but what you would get to see is the painting, and in the future, I guess if he has similar projects, we'll get to see what the construction of a school desk looks like. It's always a pleasure for me to meet people like this who are contributing to society and the future of our nation. So I look forward to that. I believe I usually apply too much glue as well. So I'm going to raise this, double checking one more time that it is facing forward as it should be. Yes. Recently somebody asked me if I enjoy woodworking because I seem to be doing it so much. And the answer to that question is not really. enjoy the utility of it that it adds to our home. So I'm honestly not pleased at all with how this took place. In fastening it, here is flush, but it gradually begins to I'm really very unhappy with how this side came out. So I've just backed out the screws and I'm going to try to see if driving a nail would help me hold it in place so I can run the screws out in. Alright, so that held there. Oh nice, oh that's nice, that's class. That is class. The wardrobe is now facing, well, the correct way. This is the top, these are the sides. I've left these brackets in place, square angles, whatever, to keep the unit square. I've installed this fastener to the top. This fastener is cut the same length as the top piece so that it helps keep the unit square. I've installed this with screws, pocket hole screws, and glue. Hopefully that does a lot to strengthen the unit. I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom here. And what I've done is I've drilled pocket holes in this. So when I take this upstairs and install it on the existing dresser, we will now be able to screw this top piece into that bottom piece. That keeps everything secure. You wouldn't want somebody go to open the wardrobe and it just magically shifts on you, or the top falls away. I need to remember to install this with the pocket holes facing down. When I worked on the previous unit, I made an error and didn't do that. So I need to correct that. Well, I need to be sure that I don't make that mistake here as well. I enjoy making mistakes, you know. Ever since I got married, I really enjoy mistakes. What it does is I mean, you get better off of it. I try not to beat up myself, although I'm very good at it when I make a mistake. I try not to beat up myself, and I try not to, you know, chastise the children when they make mistakes, because that is how we grow, really, off of mistakes. Whoa, that was powerful. So I just sending home a screw here. I mean a nail to keep this in place when I'm driving home the screws. As a viewer, do you enjoy these long format type videos? I think I'm filming this in a style where as I go along, I wouldn't really edit it so that it's snappy. It's more kind of like the viewer has agreed to go on this journey to see how things are coming together. Let me know in the comment section what your taste in videos are, what type of format you enjoy. Because at the end of the day, yes, I make the videos because creatively I enjoy them, but it is for your viewership. So let me know what tickles your fancy, so I will be able to better serve you. So one issue was that the table really isn't flat, so I had to reintroduce this bit of fire here, send home some brad nails, so we can now screw this in place. Do you remember the piece frame we built? We built that in the previous video. That is with we constructed with pocket hole screws, and we also did the biscuits. This is what we're going to attach to the front of this unit. And I'm excited about this part because it's kind of satisfying to see it just fit into place. Assuming, of course, it does fit into place. So let's get this on the ground and lying on its back. I realize you need to be very careful when you tilt and fly because the edges of the camera will breaking. Very nice. Very nice. I'm going to remove these clamps. I'm going to slip the biscuits in place. Then we will offer up the dry the piece free. If that fits well, we can then go through the process of gluing it. So what I've done with these are little biscuits. The one thing I really like about this method is that you could snap into place. And you may, because you may have something that you want to move around and not necessarily glue up. So I like the flexibility that it offers you to be able to do that. I was looking at a video, a woodworking video on YouTube, and the guy says he does his biscuits like every 10 inches, starting 6 inches from the end of the piece. I went a little bit different based on the results I saw from the first project I used them on. When I did the 6 inches, I thought it was a little too far from the edge. So I went to 3 inches. So here we go, you know. This biscuit making me feel like a bourbon cream, boy. I remember when bourbon cream, if you're watching from Trinidad and Tobago, you remember when bourbon biscuit, boy? You go to the parlor a long time. You buy a bourbon biscuit for about 50 cents. And a small Coke. Now back then, it had the big Pepsis, the glass bottle. Was it 1.5 liters or 1 liter? Gosh, you get that cold. That used to drink good, boy. That used to drink good. I feel for one another in my hand now, yes? Right. Face free, on which the door will sit. So I have purchased corresponding hinges from that. For that, I got that at Carpenter's Edge, but there are different places you can get it from Beta Homes and any hardware really. The moment of truth. The moment of truth. In the previous video, when I was lining up my biscuits, I made an error with the face frame. I honestly thought my maths was correct, and it has something to do with this half-inch overhang here. But these two biscuits, they aren't properly aligned. So I've just marked a new spot where I'm just going to run the biscuit into the plywood versus the face frame, and that should work smoothly. This door that I've already constructed and painted comes and it sits over that with a sort of overlay there. So you could have a vision for it. Not too shabby. Since starting woodwork, one of the things I've learned is before you do a glue up, make sure and pee. Something telling me this is not enough glue. I know I'll put the biscuits in place. I'll add some more glue. And if you just do woodworking and you want to share some comments in terms of glue usage, feel free to let me know. My twinkle clamp the way.
Wait, look good.
Looking good too?
Yeah, we like that.
Don't mind see my way in the ground there.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to see if when the sale come around get us some good price on clamps. Oh gosh. I don't want to farm. Clamps, it's been up.
Where you feel the best tip there? I didn't find it. No, I find it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I look inside the yeah, they are true. Check that green bag there.
No, my plan is just about it.
Steps wisely, you know. Earlier, I put a piece out with the. I had to go and move the doors after. Think about the next step of the journey and make your life easier. It's like playing pool. Where does the white ball land? What shot do I play next? These are the 14-inch doors that we will install in that wardrobe that we built. So I've constructed these doors previously, and I'm now going to drill the holes for the hinge. This is a special jig that from Craig. I purchased this in Trinidad. I believe I got this at Kelvin Ghani. That's worked well. This is a 40-inch door that I imagine will take some good licks over time in the girls' room. So what I will do is I will install 3 hinges on this door. Not absolutely necessary. I guess it will work fine without it, but that's what I'm doing. In anticipation of the licks it's going and get. This is 4 inches from the corner here. So I'll just install that at that point. Come in there? Yeah, man. Go ahead now, take it now. I know you love the transport too, right? Hey, you know, let's be talking about that very true. Oh, that's my brother here. You may have seen him in 1 or 2 videos in the past. And here and there. When some months ago, when they were working on the foundation, we did a video as well, so you can check out that. But he will always talk about why unpacking tools and putting it back in storage is one of the most tedious affairs. Those look real good at the windows installed.
Yeah.
Real good. Just take out different, put them together. No.
Right, just to see how to.
I imagine there are more sophisticated ways to get your hinge holes, but this works fine for me. and it has worked fine since the point I have been doing docking. I don't know what the most sophisticated ways are, but I know this saves me time. That looking good, boy. That's looking awesome, Jared. Tony, fella, taste it. This here is Tony from Jamaica.
Right. I don't know.
What you up to there, brother?
They are. You know, this is slick, but according to the black work, I get a little more class. Huh? But this thing, we start from down here, now we're going straight down to the end.
You making that whole distance today?
The whole distance. That's real life. Once you start no weather. You understand? You pass it inside and outside.
So people could get in touch with you.
Right, so you know it's Reconstruction Limited.
Reconstruction?
Right, Reconstruction Movement.
And what I could find you on Facebook or?
Facebook, TikTok.
Facebook,
Right?
TikTok.
Right, TikTok is Yardman.
Yardman on TikTok.
Alright.
Alright, cool. So if I'm looking for Mason, he has never worked for me, but from what I see, he does very good work. Eh?
I guess he put
Boy, that looking real good, boy. Simple, eh, boy? Simple, and watch the effect. I've drilled the hinge holes for these hinges. I got these at Carpenter's Edge. Now, what do you call it? Face frame overlay hinges or something like that. I believe I paid about, must have been about 20 to 30 TT dollars. In the past, I have purchased those in Trinidad here from Beta Homes. Probably a 40-inch door by 15 inches. The price might be somewhere around 200 TT dollars. So subsequent to that, I started investigating how to make simple shaker style doors. This is a drill bit, a self-centering drill bit that Ian gave me. So I use a square to kind of just hold these in place. Oh, I have a 16 drill bit that I'll just drill into the material a bit. I never understood why people would have a lot of drills long ago. Or sorry, not long ago, that I have seen people with a number of drills and say, why do they have all these drills for? And then one day I realized, wait, there could be scenarios where you actually need 3 drills. Does the time it takes to unscrew one of these bits, not impossible, but it does become a little bit monotonous. Sometimes you see these hinges on sale, like if you follow the Facebook pages for Beta Homes, Carpenter Edge, Kelvin Garni, House of Marketing. You see different sales that they have on lumber, and you can get some good deals if you're patient enough to sort of stockpile it and then use it as your projects come up. We have our 40-inch door with 3 hinges. These 2 below here are soft close half-inch overlay hinges. That matters. So if you start constructing, be mindful of if you're getting like a 5/8 overlay or half-inch. Oh boy, look at that big spot I forgot to paint. So we have 2 doors. Our face frame is currently drying attached to the body of the wardrobe. hinges installed, and yeah, what's left to do now is to do the finishings. This is to be painted white on the outside. I'll ask my wife, she's my only customer, if she wants to get the inside painted white or a varnish type finish. So I'll probably catch up on the install. If you're interested in seeing the install of this on the existing unit, feel free to let me know. I could do a video on it if it is something that you all are sufficiently interested in. Alright, so thanks for your time, take care, and know that life is good and you are special.